Hey, it's Mr. Johns. Welcome to this first tutorial for Flappy Happy Bird in Scratch, and we are going to add some files necessary to create the game first. So no coding this time around, but we'll be uploading some files so we can get everything ready to do so. So I hope you're excited. This is a great game. It'll play just like Flappy Bird, but we're using graphics from Angry Birds. So it's kind of a mashup of those two games, and it'll teach you a few things about the coding of a game like this. So first of all, let's start. I just had a backdrop from scratch here, just so I could show you how to replace that with something else. Now, for this assignment, you could have any background you want. You do have to use the Flappy Bird characters and pillars and sounds and grass. So the other graphics are required, but the backdrop can be anything you want. But I'm going to go ahead and upload. So I'm going to click on the choose a backdrop and upload a new backdrop. And I have let's see if I've actually downloaded this thing. Maybe not. So it might be in my in the Google Classroom. So let me show you where that is. So our Google Classroom for computer science, and I have a shared folder under classwork and unit 4 coding. So it's 4.52, which I need to rename, which I'll do right now. It'll be folder 4.5.1. That'll work. Save. So what I did is I uploaded all the files to this one folder in the classroom, and it's really just a link to my Google Drive, and it's a folder that I've opened up so that you have access to all the files, and it makes it so you can download everything. So previously, when I had them just sitting in Google Classroom, you couldn't download. So these are all the files, and so what you want to do is just right click on a file and hit download. Now that's going to go to your download folder, and so you might want to create a subfolder so that you can download. Otherwise it'll just be dumped in, for example, it'll just show up in your downloads folder, which might be full of all kinds of stuff. But if you think you can find it, and you probably can, because they're all named. In this case, mine are called Yellow Flappy 1, Yellow Flappy. So look under Y for yellow. So save all of those. And what I was looking for was the sky background. So I'm going to download that. And now that I can go back to my Scratch game, I can upload Sky right there. It's in the downloads folder, Sky. And one thing I wanted to show you is that the backdrop does not fill the entire screen. So we do need to resize it. And some people struggle with, well, where's resize? How do I make it bigger? Where's percentage? I can't change the size over here. I can't do that with a backdrop, which is frustrating. Well, here's the secret. With your mouse, just drag a box around the backdrop, and then you now have the ability to drag the corner dots and make it fill the entire screen. So there's your secret. So make sure it fits the whole screen. If it doesn't, you can do it again, but I think I got it. So I think we're looking good. So that's all you need to do for backdrops. So let's over here, I do not need the city picture anymore, so I'm going to just delete that. So I just have sky for backdrop. And for now, that's the only backdrop I want. So let's upload a sprite, and our first category of sprites is going to be Flappy. So we're going to upload a sprite, and any of them will work. So let's see, I should have my downloads, and I thought I had a Flappy folder. I don't see it, so, but I guess I did that at work. So at school I have a different setup because I have to do recording at home where my computer is fast enough, but I do most of the work at school. So it looks like I'm going to have to upload Flappy Die, and I need to re-download all the other Flappies. So if you give me just a second, I will. This is exactly what you're going to do. So it shows you that you're going to download Yellow Flappy 1, download Yellow Flappy 2, etc. And there are 6 of these. So make sure you get all 6. That's what creates the animation. And that's one reason I'm requiring that you use Flappy, because he already has animation. And it works perfectly for this game. So, all right. So he's downloaded now. We can go back to Flappy. And one thing you'll notice is that Flappy is huge, and you want to change the size of him. I've decided that 15% seems to be about right. That might be a little small. So let's try 20. Yeah, it's fine. So 15 or 20% works just fine. Now, once we have a category, and right here you can change the categories for the sprite, and I'm just going to call this Flappy. Whoops, that don't need to be all capitalized. So you'll notice it changes the category. It doesn't matter that I uploaded a file called Yellow Flappy 1. I'm just changing the category name, the sprite name, Flappy. And this is Flappy. Okay, I can drag him around the screen. It doesn't really matter. Later in the coding, I will tell him where to be flying. All right, under costumes, so click on the costumes tab on the left. We want to upload. We don't want all the other Flappies as separate sprites. He's one sprite. So now we need more costumes. So we're going to upload costume, and I can hold down the control key on my keyboard, and I can just click 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and open. That'll upload all of those. And I'm very happy to see that Flappy 1 here, which is right here, Flappy 1. By the way, whatever character I choose, whatever costume I choose, is what shows up in the window, in the screen over here as the sprite. It doesn't matter. I could have Flappy Die over here again, Flappy Die as the sprite. But the whole category is called Flappy, and now we have Flappy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and Flappy Die as they're all costumes for Flappy. All right, so we've uploaded the backdrop, and we've uploaded all the Flappies. We want a new sprite called Ground. So let's upload a sprite. I have all these downloaded. So I'm going to go with Ground 1 and open it. Okay. Again, we just want, I'm not even going to change the name of this. Well, yes, I am. I want this category to be called Ground, which is totally fine. Okay, so the category is Ground, and over in Costumes, you notice that it did not change the name of the file Ground 1, and that's important because in the coding we tell it to play Ground 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, etc. So it looks like the grass is animated. Now that's just a little touch that makes the game just a little bit more fun to play. So let's upload costumes, and we want to highlight. I like to do it in order just to make sure. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there are a lot of ground sprites, a lot of animations, but you'll notice that now these are all costumes for the sprite Ground. That was easy. Also, you notice that the ground is floating in the air. Not a huge deal, because we can move that later and tell it to be right here on the ground where it belongs. Okay. Right now it's not doing it. It bounces right back up. If I pull it off the screen, it'll bounce up. So don't worry about where it is. We are going to control that with our coding. All right, next category, the pillars. So we're going to upload Sprite, and we're going to choose. This one just says costume 7. At some point, I named that costume 7, but here are the pillars for Happy Flappy Bird, and we're going to change the Sprite name to Pillars. Pillars. Okay. So the category, the Sprite category is called Pillars, but over here under costumes, you can still see that that graphic is technically still called Costume 7. Now I have created a few custom pillars myself for additional levels, so you might as well upload them while you're here. You may not need them unless you want to. One's called Seaweed 2 and one's called Cacti Both. When I was making them, that's what I named them. So now I just took basically clip art and put it into a paint program and rotated it so one was upside down and one was right side up, and kind of changed the size. And the seaweed, the same thing. It's just a seaweed graphic. And you can control where you put them so the game so the gaps that he has to fly through is different. And I think I see now why I've made Flappy 15%. I think that's a pretty tight fit. Even if he was flying right here, that's pretty tight. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my original 15%, which I think is better. Okay, so we have Flappy with his costumes, we have Ground with all of those costumes, and we have Pillars with 3 different costumes. So that basically allows you to do 3 different backgrounds or different levels if you want. So the other thing would be sounds. So we're going to go ahead and now sound is not really a sprite, but there is a sprite with the, okay, if I haven't downloaded it, I'll show you where it is. In our Google, there we go. In our Google Classroom, there is a sprite called Music Symbol. So let's go ahead and download that. And we can use, while we're here, let's go ahead and download the mute one as well. They go together. And then there's also a pause. I guess we can download that too while we're here. You're going to need all of these eventually, so you might as well just download and dump them into a folder. And then back into Flappy, the game, we want to upload the sound, the music symbol. Okay, and we will call this category, excuse me, sounds. And then under costumes, let's upload the mute. The pause is not related to music. The pause is the game. But we want to have the costume of mute because it's related to sound. It's basically the same image with an X through it. Okay. So, and notice it's on the screen, and we really don't want it on the screen, but again, we'll control that with coding later. Everything you upload shows up on the screen until you tell it not to be visible, which we'll deal with later. All right, so now under sounds, you'll notice that we've been adding costumes, but we can also add sounds. So this is a great place to upload sounds. And I have these. Actually don't need this one. Let me delete that. You need these 4 sounds for the game. I think that's all. 1, 2, 3, 4. Punch, Flappy, theme song, coin, die. Okay, die's not there, so I'll need to find that. But so there are 5. So you can upload all 4 of these at the same time. They show up, so we have, at least we have them in the game. Okay, if you want to listen to them, you can. There's the game, and yes, you can play with these options down below to make it sound robotic or fade in, fade out, louder, softer, faster, slower, etc. So the other is don't know where it is. Die, right here, die. So this is, let me download that. Oh, that is in the Google Classroom. Okay, I just hadn't downloaded it yet. So you do have 5 sounds to upload, and let's upload one more sound called die. That's weird. The graphic is weird, but I don't think it matters. This is what it sounds like. So it's when he hits something, he like that. Okay. As a matter of fact, I think he punches first. I think he does this, and then I think so. You can do those in order and make it sound like that. So okay, so we have uploaded the 5 sounds we need, all the Flappy costumes, all the grounds, all the pillars, and I think it's a great place to stop for this quick little episode, so that we have all the files we need, and then in the next episode, episode 2, we will actually start some coding and get this game going. So hope that helps. Just if you're following along, and if you need access to the files, shoot me an email, and I'll help you out with that, so you can get going on this great game and then start customizing it later on down the road. So I'll see you in episode 2. Mr. John's out.